maybe we can see things the same. Now don't you wait, oh hesitate. Let's move before they raise the parking rate. All right now, baby.
Hello, Iowa. Wow. I'm Mike Pence. I'm from Indiana. And because of the support and hard work and prayers of the people of Iowa and people all across America 42 days from today, I'm humbled to say that I'll take the oath of office to be the next Vice President of the United States of America. My family and I are grateful and deeply humbled that we'll be standing on that day on January the 20th. And I came here today on behalf of my family to just say thanks. But mostly I'm here tonight as a fellow American to say to the people of Iowa, thank you that 1 month ago today you voted to elect a president who will make America great again. So thank you, Iowa. Thank you for doing your part to make Donald Trump the 45th President of the United States of America. He did it. He did it. And we have all of you to thank. Thanks to you, America will finally have a president who will rebuild our military, provide our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard with the resources and the training they need to accomplish their mission. And we will finally have a president who will name our enemy and marshal the resources to hunt down ISIS and destroy it at its source. And thanks to you, after a heartbreaking day in Des Moines, for the people of this community and in the law enforcement community, thanks to you, we will have a president who supports the men and women in our law enforcement community at every level. We will have a president who provides the men and women in law enforcement with the resources and tools they need to protect our families and go home safe to theirs. And he will restore law and order to every city and every community in this land, thanks to you. And thanks to you. Thanks to you, we'll have a president who will make this American economy great again. We'll have a president who will repeal Obamacare lock, stock, and barrel and replace it with free market health care reforms. We'll have a president who will cut taxes, roll back excessive regulations, repeal every single unconstitutional executive order signed by Barack Obama. And thanks to you. And thanks to you, we will have a president who will put American workers and American jobs first. We will have trade deals that will mean American jobs and American prosperity. Thanks to you, we'll have a president that fights for American jobs. We saw that in the Hoosier State just last week. because of the leadership of our president-elect, a company that had announced that they were pulling up stakes from Indiana and going all the way to Mexico, closing their doors, because he reached out, because he described a vision for a growing America, an America that puts American workers first. Carrier decided to keep more than 1,000 good-paying jobs in the state of Indiana. Make no mistake about it. Carrier decided to stay in America because Donald Trump was elected president of the United States. Thanks to you. And thanks to you. Thanks to you, we're going to have a president who is going to enforce the laws of this nation on behalf of the citizens of this nation and all who are legally here. We're going to build a wall, enforce our laws, and we're going to end illegal immigration once and for all. And thanks to you. And thanks to you. Thanks to you, we're going to have a president of the United States who will make appointments to the highest court in the land that will uphold the sanctity of life, our Second Amendment, and all the God-given liberties enshrined in the Constitution of the United States. Thanks to you. So Iowa, thanks to you, you've made a difference in the life of the nation. And I'm here just as a fellow American from the bottom of my heart to thank you for what you've done in this great state. Thank you for giving America a new president whose strength, whose vision, whose leadership will make America great again faster than you could possibly imagine. So I say with a grateful heart and with real pride that it is my high honor and distinct privilege to present to you the President-elect of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. That I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this
Beautiful.
land.
Wow. Wow. What a crowd. Ooh. What great people. Great people. I'm here today for one main reason, to say thank you to the great, great people of Iowa. You went out and pounded, and I mean pounded, the pavement. You organized your fellow citizens and propelled us to victories at a grassroots and every other level. We have a movement the likes of which this world has never seen before. Never seen before. I also want to give a very special thanks to our veterans. A lot of veterans in this room. Thank you. Thank you. Service members, military families, unbelievable people. Yesterday was the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, and a reminder of the countless Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice for this and our country. America's men and women in uniform are the finest and bravest the world has ever known. And by the way, folks, we are going to be building up our military. It will no longer be a depleted military, I promise. So to all serving in our military, and to all veterans who wore the uniform before, I say to you now on behalf of a very, very grateful nation, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're in your debt, and we will never, ever let you down. Never. We'll honor your service, your sacrifice, and that really begins with defending and respecting our American flag. I think you'll be liking some of the things we'll be putting forward in the not too distant future. Do you know what I mean? Yes? Do you know what I mean? When Pearl Harbor was attacked, one man who immediately enlisted to defend his country was John Glenn. For the next 7 decades, he devoted his life to serving the American people, which he did from the cockpit of his bullet-riddled fighter jet, tough times, in the weightless silence of his Mercury space. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We have to respect John Glenn. That's all right. I think they're actually on our side. They just don't know it yet. They will be soon. But John was also in the weightless silence of his Mercury spacecraft and later in the halls of the U.S. Capitol. Our nation mourns the passing of one of our great heroes. He was a giant among men and a true American legend who inspired generations of explorers and dreamers, and we will honor his legacy by continuing to push new frontiers in science, technology, and space. In filling my cabinet, I'm looking for people who fully understand the meaning of service and who are committed to advancing the common good. One such man, who, by the way, our country has fallen in love with, is General James Mad Dog Mattis. He doesn't lose. He doesn't lose. We were together last night. He's a great guy. A general's general, they call him. Earlier this week, I formally announced my plans to nominate him as your new Secretary of Defense. I believe we're in the process of putting together one of the great cabinets that has ever been assembled in the history of our nation. Do you like it so far, everybody? I also want to take this opportunity to thank your great senators. Chuck Grassley, great guy, really great guy. And a woman I've gotten to know very well, a tremendous woman, phenomenal person. That's right, Joni Ernst. They're going to be tremendous partners in the Senate. And they're right now in Washington, D.C., working very hard on something that's very interesting. But they are tremendous, two tremendous people. They never wavered You know, we had some people, they would waver, right? Waver. And as long as they came back sometime prior to the vote, they're all right. But we don't like people that waver, right? Those two didn't waver. I'll tell you who else didn't waver. Your governor did not waver. I want to tell you that. He didn't waver. Not even a little bit. And soon I'm going to invite onto stage one of the newest additions to our administration, a man you know well. One of the most important relationships we must improve, and we have to improve, is our relationship with China. The nation of China is responsible for almost half of America's trade deficit. China is not a market economy. They get a lot of help. And that's why we designate them as being a non-market economy. Big thing. They haven't played by the rules. And I know it's time that they're going to start. They're going to start. They've got to. We're all in this thing together, folks. We got to play by the rules, folks. You have the massive theft of intellectual property, putting unfair taxes on our companies, not helping with the menace of North Korea like they should, and the at-will and massive devaluation of their currency and product dumping. Other than that, they've been wonderful, right? But I have to tell you, the man that is going to be coming up here very soon, every single time I've spoken, as I'm going onto the stage, he'd said, please, Mr. Trump. See, then he could call me Mr. Trump. Now he just called me President-elect. Can you believe that? If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be President-elect. But he always would say, Mr. Trump, Donald, don't say anything bad about China when you're in Iowa. Okay? I said, why? Because I have so many friends there. I like them and they like me. And we do well with China. We do well with China. So when it came to thinking about the ambassador to China, right? I started saying, now wait a minute, this is big stuff. And I can't tell you how many people wanted that position. You know, it's not bad. You go over there, you live like a king. But he's not looking to live like a king. He and his beautiful wife came to my office the other day. They're looking to work on that relationship because he knows the people and the leaders in China for so many years. He knew your current leader years ago, and he said he will be the ultimate leader when he was just a young guy. But you have a very special man. And I just want to tell you officially, the man I have chosen as our ambassador to China is the man who knows China and likes China. It's better to like China if you're going to be over there. Do we agree? And knows how to deliver results. And he will deliver results, just like he's been delivering results for 23 years for the great farmers and for the people of Iowa. He's been on 6 trade missions to China and is highly respected by all of the Chinese officials. He's also a native of Iowa, America's longest serving governor in the history of our country, 23 years. Think of that, in the history. You don't know what it is. To be a governor for 4 years is tough, 23 years, and has done an incredible job. He's also become a great friend of mine. I am now honored to welcome to the stage our next ambassador to China, your governor, and I can truly say your great governor, Terry Branstad. Come up, Terry. This is a big room.
Wow. President-elect Trump. Fellow Iowans, it has been a great honor and privilege to serve the people of this state, and thanks to our great new president who's going to make America great again, I am very proud to serve America in this very important role. Thank you very much.
He's going to do so great. With Terry on our side, I know we will succeed in bringing our jobs back. And I also know that China, who's been so tough and so competitive and frankly dealing with people that didn't get it. But I'll tell you what, we're going to have mutual respect. We're going to have mutual respect. And China's going to benefit, and we're going to benefit, and Terry's going to lead the way. So I just want to congratulate him. But to accomplish our goals, we must reject the failed approaches of the past. Government must stop listening to the special interests and start delivering for the national interest. It's time to deliver for you, the American people, just like Iowa delivered for me. Boy, did you deliver. Boy, did you deliver. You know, just to go into this for a second. So we won almost every single county in the state. We won by over 10 points. We won one county that wasn't won since Dwight D. Eisenhower. Anybody know the name of that county? Correct. And we had a great night. And Iowa was announced very early. And so was Ohio. And we won Ohio by almost 9 points. And we were expected to win Ohio by 2 points or 3. So we won by 9. That made the other side a little bit nervous. And then my friends right in this room got announced, right? And we won by 10 points. And then when they looked at the map of Iowa, and they saw almost every single county, and it was incredible. And the other side would say, well, maybe those two are flukes. And then we won Florida, and we won South Carolina, and we won North Carolina, and we won Pennsylvania, and we won Michigan, and we won Wisconsin, and we won Georgia, and Texas. And Utah. Remember Utah? Remember Utah? Where they said this guy, this unknown person, that he's doing so well. Remember? They said, Utah is in play. Now no Republicans ever lost Utah. And I went to my people, I said, we got problems, Utah's in play. And there's a guy that, I mean, I never saw this guy. He's supposed to be doing well. And it was like, we're tied. And they had Hillary actually in 3rd place. And this is a case where I wanted her to be in 2nd place, to be honest. So this guy supposedly was in 2nd place. And they said Texas, right? They said Texas, very close. Georgia, very close. And they had it so close, too close to call. This is before the election. And then the election, joke, he just said it. No, well, there's a lot of dishonesty out there. So now the polls open. And they go, Texas goes to Trump. Georgia goes to Trump. Utah, right at the beginning. I won them in like landslides. I'm saying, what's been going on, right? I said, what's been going on for the last 10 weeks? They're in play. You know, the expression they use is they're in play, meaning they're very close. They weren't supposed to be in play. Guess what? They weren't in play. So it was sort of nice. So the polls opened up, and immediately they said, Trump wins Texas, Trump wins all of them. But they said, very important to me, Trump wins Iowa. That was a big one. That was a big one. That was a big one. And the numbers were so big that, you know, for the rest of the night, the other side's going around and said, that's a big number. That's a lot more than we were supposed to lose by. So I love you folks, I really. This is sort of a, this is a thank you. And it's a thank you, Iowa, and it's a thank you, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and North Carolina, and Florida, and a lot of the states that were so, so crucial. And we won everyone, and Nebraska, a guy from Nebraska. Actually, we won Nebraska too, right? We won, boom. Nebraska goes twice, and we won it twice. And we had a lot of people in Nebraska, a lot of good, wealthy people fighting us, right? That didn't work. But those wealthy people aren't so unhappy now because the stock market's gone up so much because of us that those wealthy people just got wealthier, right? No, they had a lot of buses. They were busing people from all over the place, and we still won both of them. The American worker built this country, and now it's time for American workers to have a government that for the first time in decades, answers to them. We're going to answer to them. My plan begins with bold structural reform to create millions of really good paying jobs. Jobs. Whether it's agriculture, medicine, or military technology, we want the next generation of innovation and production to happen right here in America. And right here in Iowa, you're going to be big beneficiaries. Big beneficiaries. First on taxes. We're going to undertake one of the great tax reforms and simplifications in American history. It's got to be simpler. Too much work, too complicated. At the center of this plan is massive tax relief for the American middle class. Has been forgotten. Forgotten. Boy, did they come out and vote, huh? They came out and vote. I think both parties to a certain extent, but especially the other side, they forgot about those people. That's why I call them the forgotten men and the forgotten women. They're not forgotten anymore, folks. They're not forgotten. They're not forgotten anymore. We're also going to lower our business tax rate from 35% all the way down to 15%. That's going to be great. Going to prime the pump. Got to prime the pump. Got to get the jobs. Got 96 million people out there. We got to get them going, and they want to work. They gave up looking for jobs. They're going to have their choice of jobs now. You watch. They're going to have their choice. Wouldn't it be nice if you went around and you go home to your wife or your husband and you say, Harry or Sally? I don't know which one to take. I've got so many options. I've got so many options. Please, Sally, help me choose. But you're going to have that. You're going to have now options. You haven't had that for a long time. You take whatever you can get. We're going to have options. On regulations, we're going to eliminate every single wasteful regulation that hurts our farmers, our workers, and our small business. And you saw today, Scott Pruitt, who's a tremendous guy, who's been met with tremendous applause from the business community. We're going to protect the family farm, and we are going to end the EPA intrusion into your lives. On energy, we will cancel the job-killing restrictions on the production of American energy. And that means lower energy prices for farmers, households, and small businesses in Iowa and, frankly, all over the United States. We will also pursue an agenda of conservation, protecting our beautiful natural resources for future Americans, your family, your children, and lots of other people. And we're going to ensure clean air and clean water for all of our people. Regulations, by the way, will be cut down to a fraction of what they are now. And believe it or not, environmentally, you'll be protected better and we'll have jobs, okay? We'll have jobs. On infrastructure, I am going to ask Congress to pass legislation that produces $1 trillion of new investment in America's crumbling infrastructure, and it is indeed crumbling. That includes major new projects for both our rural communities and our inner cities, which have also been forgotten. And we will put our people, not people from other lands, our people back to work in the process, okay? It's time to help Americans get off the welfare and get back into the labor market, and they're going to want to do it. They're going to want to do it. Rebuilding this country with American hands by American workers. We're going to do it. We're going to have people that haven't worked for years. They're going to love working. They're going to love it. They're going to be incentivized. My administration will follow two simple rules: buy American and hire American. Remember, years ago, we used to proudly display Made in the USA. You'd go get a car, right? And we'd have it say Made in the USA. We don't see it. Have you ever seen it? I don't see it anymore. We ought to start doing that. Any of the manufacturers, and we're doing a lot of talking to a lot of companies that we're thinking about leaving. And I'll tell you, I don't think they're going to be leaving so fast anymore. They're not going to be leaving so fast anymore. Because we love our companies, and we love it when they're employing thousands of people. But we don't love our companies when they leave and go to another country and think they can make their product and sell it back into our country like we're a bunch of fools, like they've been getting away with for the last 35 years. Not going to do it. No, there are going to be consequences. When they want to leave, I wish them well. I always say, enjoy your new plant, enjoy the very hot weather. But if you think you're going to be coming through what will soon become a very, very strong border, no, not going to happen so easy. We're not going to be the stupid people anymore, folks. We're not going to be the stupid people. Because from now on, it's going to be America first. Going to be America first. Very simple. You know, some of the deals made, and I've been studying them. I actually like reading deals. Do you believe this? I don't know what that is. But I've been studying some of these deals. They're horrible. They're inconceivable. But we're going to have some great news for you in the very near future. On trade, our trade deficit, now nearly $800 billion a year. Think of that. We trade. Everyone says, oh, we want to trade. I want to trade. I'm a free trader. But it has to make sense. You don't want to trade if you can lose $800 billion a year. It's a chronic drag on growth and a total destroyer of jobs and the wealth of our country. So we don't want that anymore. And by the way, some of the people I put on to negotiate, you've been noticing, are some of the most successful people in the world. And one newspaper criticized me. Why can't they have people of modest means? Because I want people that made a fortune, because now they're negotiating with you. Okay? It's no different than a great baseball player or a great golfer. I mean, we want the people that are going to bring, and they're so proud to do it. These people have given up fortunes of income in order to make $1 a year. And they're so proud to do it. And you watch what's going to happen. It's going to happen fast, too. It's going to happen fast. It's going to happen very fast. And we've been given tremendous reviews on the people that we've gotten. That's why we will renegotiate our trade deals, stop the product dumping, the currency manipulation, which is totally out of control, which, by the way, makes it impossible for our companies to compete, and defend every last American job. But we're going to do it. It's going to be fun. I actually love calling these companies. I said, give me a list of 10 companies that are leaving. And I actually love calling these companies and saying, hi. And I get the president of this company. And I say, hi, how you doing? Oh, hello, Mr. President-elect, congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. By the way, while we're on the phone, don't leave. Please don't leave. Please. And we've had great success. You'll be seeing a lot more success. On the military, we will show the whole world that America is strong again. We're going to have a very strong military. I mean, there's rarely been a time when we needed a strong military and a smart military more than we have now, right? There's rarely been a time. We will rebuild our badly depleted military and ensure that our service members have the equipment, training, technology, and resources they need to get the job done. To get the job done. Now, I have to say this. Hopefully, we will never have to use the power that we're building. We don't want to use it. We believe in peace through strength. We don't want to use it. But it's got to be there. It's got to be there. At the same time, we will ensure our veterans have the best medical care in the world, including the best health care for our female veterans who have also been the forgotten people. Got a lot of forgotten people in this country. A lot of forgotten people. We'll be very strongly focused on female veterans who have really had it tougher than almost anybody. On child care, thank you. That's very nice. On child care, I'm asking Congress to pass legislation to make safe and affordable child care accessible to all, while fighting to get higher pay for women in the workforce. That's what has to happen. And ensuring women-owned small businesses can access the capital they need. We're going to be working on plans for companies, not only women, but for companies to access the capital from banks. Right now, there is no capital. You can't get a loan. And we will open it up, and you'll be able to get loans, and you're going to do great, and we're going to hire a lot of people, and you're going to expand your businesses. It's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Has to happen. So many people can't get jobs. The unemployment number, as you know, is totally fiction. If you look for a job for 6 months, and then you give up, they consider you give up. You just give up. You go home, you say, darling, I can't get a job. They consider you statistically employed. It's not that way. But don't worry about it, because it's going to take care of itself pretty quickly. We want to support every young woman in America who dreams of starting and owning a small business, because that dream has not been a dream for the last long period of time. On health care reform, and I want to tell you, and I want to thank the women, because I kept hearing for months, I'm not going to do well with women. I kept saying, why? What's wrong with women? I think women have, I said, I'll trade the men for the women, right? I'll trade the men. I wanted them. And then we had the election. I did great with women. I led in many categories. And every time we'd have a rally, I'd have those beautiful pink signs up, right? Women for Trump, women for Trump. Then I'd go home, I'd turn on the television to see how massive my crowd was. And you'd never show it, they'd never show it. But they'd talk about women. Guess what? We did great with women. African American, the African American community's unbelievable. Much, much more than in the past for other people. I heard that was going to be off, and it was fantastic. Plus, a lot didn't go out and vote for Hillary, in all fairness. Hispanic community, incredible. Now, with the males, I set records, but who cares, right? Who cares about the males? I'd like to switch it. I'd rather set the records with the women, but we did very well with women. We did well with all groups. I'll tell you where we really did well. An all-time world record, not even close. Evangelicals, I love you. Evangelicals. We had such great help. The pastors, the ministers, we had such great help. And I won't go into great detail, but we will get rid of the Johnson Amendment, okay? I promise you that. The Johnson Amendment, the disaster. On health care reform, every day, the law known as Obamacare is destabilizing our health care system, surging premiums, and forcing providers out of the market. They're out of the market. Nobody to talk to. Nobody to talk to. If we don't act quickly, the damage will be irreversible. And our country can't afford it. Not only can't you afford it, our country can't afford it. That's why we will and must repeal and replace Obamacare. We have no choice. You know, premiums in some states, great state, Arizona, another one I won by a lot that I was supposed to be like really close. What these states, I mean, at the beginning of the evening, I'm saying, this is like a lot of fun. But Arizona was great to me, but Obamacare is up 116%. 116%, and it's going much higher. So we're going to get that taken care of. On crime, the murder rate has experienced its largest increase in 45 years. We're going to support the incredible men and women of law enforcement. And we are going to bring this terrible crime wave to an end. On immigration, we will build the wall, and we will put an end to illegal immigration and stop the drugs from pouring into our country. The drugs are pouring into our country, poisoning our youth and plenty of other people. We will stop the drugs from pouring into our country. We will stop the drugs from poisoning our great and beautiful and loving youth, okay? We'll do it. And we have a man that we'll be introducing pretty soon, next week, who is going to do a phenomenal job, called Homeland Security. Used to be a political appointment, now it's like the most important appointment. And he's going to do a terrific job, and he and his people are going to keep you safe. They're going to keep you safe. Not going to be games. These are no longer political appointments. These are talented people, smart people, where they have to be. They're tough people. Is it okay to have some tough people when you know? Because the enemy is tough, right? I think the enemy's pretty tough, right? So I think we need some tough people. But we have smart people and great people. During this campaign, I had a chance to meet the incredible family of Sarah Root, an Iowa native killed at the age of 21 by an illegal immigrant who was released from custody 2 separate times. A Trump administration will stop the violence that is spilling across our border. And believe me, you've seen now, it is unbelievable how much there is. And we will fight to protect every last American life and life and life. During the campaign, I also spent time with American workers who were laid off and forced to train the foreign workers brought in to replace them. We won't let this happen anymore. Can you believe that? You get laid off, and then they won't give you your severance pay unless you train the people that are replacing you. I mean, that's actually demeaning, maybe more than anything else. And you know the name of one of the companies that's doing it. I'm going to be nice because we're trying to get that company back. Don't forget, it's much harder when a company announced a year and a half ago. Some of these companies, like Carrier, they announced long before I even knew I was going to be running for president. By the way, are you glad I ran for president? I think so, right? What the heck? It's a movement. It's a movement. But that's a lot hard. It's very hard to tell somebody, we don't want you to leave. We don't want you to go to Mexico or wherever you're going. And they say, but sir, we've already built our plant. That's not a great position, and yet we still kept so many of those workers. So that was a good job, and I'll tell you, our governor, who will soon be our vice president, Indiana, we call him Indiana Mike. He is a great guy. It's one of my great decisions. He's a friend of mine, but he's a great guy. Hasn't he done a good job? Mike Pence. He's done such a good job. One of my first executive orders will be to ask the Department of Labor to investigate all visa abuses that undermine jobs and wages for the American worker. To protect our country from terrorism and extremism. We will suspend immigration from regions where it cannot be safely processed or vetted. You know, I've used the expression extreme vetting. Extreme, oh, it's going to be extreme. We want people coming into our country. We want them coming in legally. But we want them coming in legally. But we want them coming in. You know, when I talk about we will build the wall, we will. There's going to be doors on the wall, big, beautiful doors. We're going to have people coming into our country, but they're going to come in through a process. They're going to come in legally, and we're going to see that these people have true capability to love us, not to hate us, to love us. Earlier today, I visited the campus of Ohio State University, great place, to meet with the victims of the terrible attack that occurred only days ago, along with first responders who were terrific. One young man did a phenomenal job, saved a lot of lives. Our whole nation extends our prayers. It's true, that man was a young guy. Give him applause, come on. You might be watching. So our whole nation extends our prayers, our support, and really our solidarity, because we are solid. We are going to be together. We're going to be a strong, together nation. You know, I was lucky enough to receive the Time Person of the Year. They used to call it Man of the Year, but they can't do that anymore, so they call it Person. They want to be politically correct. That's okay. And they talked about, heads up, a divided nation on the cover. They give me this honor, then they have to go a little bit of this stuff. A divided nation. I said, I haven't been president. What are you saying that for? But you know what? We're going to bring the nation together. We're going to bring the nation together. We're not going to have a divided nation. And I want to applaud the university leadership and students for their response to the attack, and their police department really have done a terrific job. And it's swift, life-saving work. I mean, they have really been, it was incredible. I met them today, they were great people. This horrific assault is yet one more tragic reminder that immigration security is now national security. No more games, folks, no more games. No more games. A Trump administration will always put the safety and security of the American people first. It's going to be the American people first. It hasn't been that way. Hasn't been that way. You know, when I look at these trade deals that I've been studying so much over the last little while, I actually think that they meant to make them good for other nations. Now, maybe that was a concept. Because I say, how could agreement be so bad? Is it possible to be so bad? I really believe that they meant to make it good, maybe to help the other nation. But they're killing us. Are we tired of this? They're killing us, okay? How many of these can you do? So we'll change them around and we'll get it going. And you see what's going on. You see what's going on Wall Street. It's a beautiful thing. All over the world, they're talking about our country. And we haven't even started yet, right? Wait till we start. Wait till we start. Such potential. Thank you. We want to see Apple, and we want to see these great companies start building plants in the United States. That's what I want to see. Big plants. Their biggest plants. Ethics reform will be a crucial part of our 100-day plan as well. We're going to drain the swamp of corruption in Washington, D.C. Funny how that term caught on, isn't it? I tell everyone, I hated it. Somebody said, drain the swamp. I said, oh, that's so hokey. That is so terrible. I said, all right, I'll try it. So like a month ago, I said, drain the swamp. Place went crazy. I said, whoa, what's this? Then I said it again. Then I started saying it like I meant it, right? And then I said it, I started loving it. And the place loved it. It's drain the swamp. I mean, it's true. It's true. It's true. Drain the swamp. I will impose a 5-year ban on executive branch officials becoming lobbyists and a lifetime ban on officials becoming lobbyists for a foreign government. Can't do it. Can't do it. Not going to help. We face many challenges, but this is truly an exciting time to be alive. The script is not yet written. We do not know what the page will read tomorrow. But for the first time in a long time, what we do know is that the pages will be authored by each and every one of you. You, the American people, will be in charge. Your voice, your desires, your hopes and aspirations will never again fall on deaf ears. You will be the captains of your own destiny. And that's what happened during this election. People came down and people came out. Great Americans, they love the country more than anyone. But they haven't voted in 20 years and 30 years. Some of them have never voted at all. And they came out and they stood in line for 4 hours and 5 hours. And all of these geniuses said, where did these people come from? Where did they come from? Oh, where did they come from? Where? We didn't know they existed. Where did they come from? Now they know, right? Together, we will raise incomes and create millions and millions of new jobs. We will lower taxes, unleash American energy, and bring thousands of new companies to our shores. And we won't let our companies leave. We will reestablish the rule of law and appoint justices to the United States Supreme Court who will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. So important. You don't know what you did when you put me in this position, because now we are going to have just that one subject was so important. If nothing else, Supreme Court. I used to say, if nothing else, you know, they have the never Trumps, right? Never Trumpers, never Trumpers. By the way, they're on respirator right now. They're for the most part gone. We had a few never Trump, and now they call themselves only Trump, right? But I will tell you, I used to go into a room early on, and I had some never Trumpers in there. I'd say, if no other reason, the Supreme Court of the United States, nothing else, forget about everything else, right? She knows. We will fight for great schools and safe neighborhoods. We will restore respect for America and for the American flag. We will heal our divisions and unify our country. When Americans are unified, there is nothing we cannot do. No task is too great, no dream too large, no goal beyond our reach. My message tonight is for all Americans, from all parties, all beliefs, all walks of life. No matter your age, your income, your background, I am asking you to join this incredible movement. I am asking you to dream big and bold and daring things for your country. I am asking you to believe in yourself, and I'm asking you to believe again in America. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And if we do that, then all together, we will make America strong again. We will make America rich again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Iowa. Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you, Iowa. God bless you. Thank you.